Hello, welcome back. Right, I've not done one of these for ages. It's a return to the World of Spectrum random fives. Basically, I click the random search button 5 times and I see what comes out. And at the end of it, I'm going to decide which of the five is the best game. Now, we're going to start with a game from Creative Sparks called Snodgits, written by Martin Harris. Kind of like an isometric collect 'em up, sort of like flunky 'em up, if you like. To be honest, I couldn't work out what to do on this game, so I didn't really enjoy it. You've got to solve various tasks, etc., but there's no sort of clues as to sort of how to do it. You've got a map there, etc. There's not an awful lot on YouTube, by the way, of playthroughs, etc., to be able to see what it is you got to do. So I didn't really enjoy this game, and I didn't spend an awful lot of time on it. Now, moving on, one of my favourite games from back in the day was the Spectrum conversion of Rampage. And so game number 2 is a game that's very similar, and it's Ramparts, which kind of takes all the Rampage themes, etc., of smashing the shit out of buildings, and transfers it from modern day setting to a medieval setting. And as you can see, the games are very, very similar. Now, having played that, played both of them now, I have to say I preferred Rampage. You could play it 3 players. You could attack enemies that came at you from different heights and directions. Don't seem to be able to do that in Ramparts. Graphics and sound are very nice. It is playable, but it's just not as playable for me as Rampage was, with Lizzie, George and Ralph. That's a really, really great game. Of course, can play it 2-player, but I don't know what it's like. So, moving on, we go to a game from Houston. Now, this is a game I've not heard of, Mania. And this is from 1989, and I did still play the Spectrum then, but this game sort of passed me by. This is the first time I've ever heard of Mania, seen it or played it. And while it looks nice, it's kind of like, as you can see, you've got to go around colouring all the tiles in, missing the birdies, avoiding the birdies. It's actually quite dull, and it gets quite dull quite quickly. It's very nicely presented and everything, but there's not much about it that made me return to it, which, you know, Houston had a really, really high level of quality amongst their titles, so the odd one that was going to that wasn't as playable as the rest was going to slip through. It's the law of averages. Now, this next one, the next 2 actually, are both Spanish games. This is we're moving on, and this is called Corsarios, and it's from Operasoft. Now, look at that loading screen. That is fantastic. Tons and tons of great games come out of Spain. This isn't one of them. It's kind of like, best way to describe it would be Renegades of the Caribbean, if you know what I mean. It's side-scrolling beat 'em up. It's not particularly playable. The controls are a bit strange. The graphics get, although they're nice when they're separated, when they get closer together, very, very difficult to see what's going on. And it's just not particularly inspiring to play. It's just quite sort of humdrum, which is a shame, because a lot of excellent games came out of Spain, and I've done a video before about great Spanish games. Now, the final one is also a Spanish entry, and again, it's not very good. It's Enchanted, and this was released by Positive Software, and it's a pinball. I've got to say that again. It's a pinball game, and not a particularly good one. It's just very, very slow, very humdrum, and plain. Not bad by any stretch of the imagination, but it's just boring. Not a lot of excitement or action going on in it that I could make out from when I played it. So that's it. That's the 5 games. If you have any recollections of any of them, I know Snodgits is pronounced Snodgits, by the way. That was just a laugh that I put in there. If you remember any of these games, please let me know your thoughts and recollections. I'm just going to go on and sort of show you what I thought was the best out of those 5. I think it will be easy enough to sort of figure out. But if you like the video, please let me know. And if you wish to subscribe, please do so. But if you do subscribe, please make sure you take the time to enter into the discussions, because that's what it's all about. So the best game out of that lot, the one I enjoyed playing the most, was Ramparts. But in all honesty, the whole collection was a bit average this time out. Anyway, thanks ever so much for watching. Take care of yourselves. Goodbye.